If you're new to print on demand or graphic design, you may not know the difference between PNG, EPS, or any of those different file types. In this video, I'm going to show you the difference in Affinity Designer and how to use it in different situations. I'm going to show you how to put an outline on those different ones so that it stands out from like a vintage sunset or something like that. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juna with Detour Shirts. I've been designing and selling t-shirts online since 2005, and in this video I wanted to show you the difference between a PNG file, an SVG file, and some of those other files. If you get graphics from like places like Creative Market or Creative Fabrica or any place on the internet, it may come in different file types. So I'll show you the difference in Affinity Designer so we can see how to use them. This video was inspired by a question that I got on my Facebook groups. You can see this one right here. They asked how to put an outline on a file, and I asked what kinds of file are you using, and there was a whole bunch of different files. So I thought it would be a good idea for you guys to learn the difference on how to put an outline on a PNG file versus a SVG file and so on. So let's get into Affinity Designer. I'll open up the different files and you'll see the difference in there and how to do it. So before we begin, here are all the different file types that you may see when you download a file or a graphic from the internet, Creative Market, Creative Fabrica, wherever you get your designs from. So this one here is coffee. You can see there's the AI file, EPS file, JPEG file, PNG file, and SVG file. All of those are slightly different, but they're basically two different kinds. So there's a vector version, which Affinity Designer works well with because it's a vector program, and there's like a pixel version, more like for Photoshop and stuff, but Affinity Designer can handle that too. So I'm here in Affinity Designer. All you need to do is when you click on this, drag it into your Affinity Designer program. If you have a dock like me for a Mac, you just drag it into the application and it will open it up. So I have them all opened up here so you can see the difference. I'm going to close this here. And first, the AI file, you can see right there, says Coffee AI. Now, when you go into the layers, you can see AI stands for Adobe Illustrator. So this is an Illustrator file, and you can see it's a vector file. Each one of these is a little vector thing, little graphic. So you can manipulate those and change the colors very easily. So it's not flat. When you open it up, you can see all the different stuff. Same thing with the EPS file. It's also a vector file. So here I am on EPS, and you can see all the different graphics here. Same thing, you'd work the same way as the AI file. If you don't have Adobe Illustrator or something that can open Adobe Illustrator, it usually can open an EPS file, which is pretty much the same thing. Now we go to JPEG file. So you can see the JPEG file is flat. This one has a white background. Usually a JPEG file has a background. It's not like a PNG file where you can knock out the background, but it is also flat. It's just one big pixel version, and I can't open it up and change the different elements in here. You're kind of stuck with these colors. You can kind of manipulate all the colors, but it's not as easy to go in here and select different parts of it, right? So same thing with a PNG file. The only difference is the PNG file is a transparent background, which is why we save our t-shirts and designs in PNG. You can see now it's just this. This is just cut out from it. By default, it's locked when it comes in. I can unlock it here, and then I can move this. You can see it's just itself on there. So that's a really nice file to have because it has the outline already and you don't have to worry about it, but it does have its drawbacks because it doesn't have the layers. But the reason why we do this in PNG is because when we print it on a t-shirt, we don't need the layers, so it's a lot smaller file. Here on SVG, you can see this one is a vector file, and you can see it's not all grouped by default. It's all separated by default, but same like the AI file and the EPS file, it's a vector, so I can come in here and select just a little part of it, right, and do it. And so those are the basic files that we have: PNG, SVG, PNG, JPEG, EPS, and AI file. You'll probably find at least one or more of those when you download a file. So let me show you how to put an outline around an EPS file or a vector file first. So this can be used for the AI file, the EPS file, or the SVG file. first, let's go to the sunset. I'm going to copy this, Command C, and paste it here, Command V. And I'm using version 1 of Affinity Designer. I'm going to use version 2 of Affinity Designer next year, but version 1, if you have it, I'm sure it's very similar. So some of these shortcuts will be the same. And you can see right here in the layer, I have the Vintage Sunset. Next, we're going to pick, let's just use the EPS version. I'm going to select all of these, and that's the layer 1 right here, and Command C, and go back to here and Command V, and you can see the whole file is right there, so layer 1. So the next thing we want to do is make an outline so it shows the t-shirt layer, kind of to separate the colors here and everything. So I'm going to make pretend, let's click on the artboard, that our shirt color is gray. So right there you can see, and so we want a kind of a gray outline, but that's the shirt outline behind it. So let me show you what I would do. So first, because this is vector, I can come in here and click on some of these things. So I'm going to click on the background here, and maybe this one, and maybe this one right here. Yeah. And I'm going to copy those 3 because that will make the outline. You'll see what I mean. I'll hit Command C here and scroll all the way up. I'm going to close this layer, and I'm going to put it right above this layer here. Command V, and I'm going to, you can see those are the 3 right here, and I'm going to add it or kind of combine it all there. And so you can see it. I'll move it over so you can see what I have right here. This is kind of the outline of the whole thing, right? So with that outline, I'm going to add a black outline first right here, and then we'll make it bigger so you can see the width. So there's the outline. Oh, I missed this one right here. So when you see this, you can see everything looks like the perfect outline except for right there. So I must have missed that. So let's go back, Command Z. Okay, good. Well, let's put back the background color. Okay, let's do this again. Make sure I grab the right one. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Command C, and then we'll scroll back up here. Make sure we got it in the right spot. Command V. Okay, so now we got those 4. Okay, and now I'm going to combine it, add here, and you can see that's the outline. So I missed it before. So now when we do the stroke, see, perfect, right? You see the stroke around it. Now that's a black stroke, which isn't the same as seeing through the color. So the way we can do that is combine the background. So I got the background and this together. And then this curve right here should be erase. So now you can see whatever color the background color is of the shirt. So let me change the color of the shirt so you can see it. If I made it black, it's black. If I made it white, it's white. If I made it blue, it's just showing right through it, right? So that's how easy it is to do with an SVG. Super simple. All you need is the outline of it, and then make sure they're in the same group, right? So we have this as a group right there. If it wasn't in a group, it's not going to work. So make sure we group it. I kind of grouped it when I pasted it in front and just made a group, so you can see it right there. So I'll show you how to do it in the other one. So that's how you do that one. I'm going to do a copy of this. So artboard, pull it out. Let's take these guys out here. I'm going to scroll up. So we don't need that guy, and need that one. Okay, so we're going to do a version for a PNG file. So let's go to the PNG file here. So you can see the PNG file is flat. So we don't have that outline. So let's see what happens here. So copy, paste here, PNG file. We'll make it a little bigger so it's the same size. Yeah, about that size. All right, so I don't think we can do an outline on it. Let's try it. I have this, and you can see the outline. Even if I do a stroke, it doesn't work the same way because it's not a vector file, right? So what we could do is we could just trace it and then do our own background. So let's zoom in here. So Option and scroll wheel. And this doesn't work exactly, but if we take our pen tool and kind of come in here and trace it over, I'm going to take out that for now. And we can just kind of trace it over here. It doesn't have to be perfect for this example. But you're going to have to make your own background. So let me do this and we'll come back. You don't have to watch me do it, but basically you're just going to take the pen tool and go all the way around. All right, so now that I made that shape, you can see, I'll put it in the front here so you can see it. There's that shape. Now, if we put it in the back of it, so here's the background, PNG, and then we do our stroke here, same thing. You can make it as big as you want. Again, that's a black stroke, so let's do here the background and the curve. We'll group them together, right? There's that one group, and then do this curve as an erase. Boom, same thing, right? So with a PNG, you're gonna have to make your own background. With the SVG, it's already there, so you can kind of use those layers to make a background, but same result. You can see you have the outline, and again, if you change the color of it, it just shows through again, right? So if it's a black, it'll show through and so on. So that's how easy it is to use a PNG file versus a SVG file, or a vector file versus a pixel file. You can do it both ways. Just one way is just a little more difficult, but you can see pretty similar. You can't even tell which one's the vector file or which is the pixel file just by looking at it. You'll have to actually go in here and look at the layers and stuff. So hopefully this shows you the difference between the two, and now you can use both. If you need to outline them, you know the different techniques for both of them. So that is it for this video. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully this video is really helpful for you to see the difference between a vector file and a pixel file. If this video is really helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. The question of the day for this video is, what kind of files do you use? Do you use PNG files or SVG files or something else? Let me know that in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to see more videos of graphic design tutorials, click on these videos right here. And as always guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.